Welcome back, everyone, to another fun episode of Cafe con Leche in the Morning, or Be Well Kanima. I'm Cafe Diego, this is Leche Christian, and we're here to talk to you about a new topic. Leche, what's today's topic of the day?
Bro splits.
Bro splits? What is a bro split? Because I'm not sure bro. Just kidding, I am your bro.
Bro splits are kind of like what's plaguing the fitness industry in terms of what types of workouts and split routines people do in terms of working out. So a bro split could be broken down into, back and buys day, chest and tries, shoulders and legs, or just leg day,
Oh, yes.
So we're going to be talking about how people that do this type of workout kind of go about it and what they're doing wrong, what they're doing right, and some other things that they can change. And then our viewpoints, basically.
And some of you may not know it, but you're doing a bro split. Maybe you haven't heard the term bro split, but that's technically what the fitness community mostly calls it.
Yep.
Now, if you are doing a bro split, this is for you. If you're doing anything else, I would say just open ears as we enter this conversation. Again, these are our opinions. This is what we do, and this is what we find most beneficial. So, especially, you might see us with Lay's, and since it's a summertime, we're
Happy
vibing,
summer.
and we're trying to get the most summer body that we can. And bro splits are just not it for the summer body, unless your diet is super, super crazy good.
Yes, that's also true, which people's summer diets usually aren't.
You can check out our last episode about that.
But kind of going into what I do, Diego and I both have very just the basis of it of just a full body split is kind of how we both do it. We just both have our different touches on it. But when specifically talking about that bro split, when you're talking about back and buys, chest and tries, a leg day, it's very traditional bodybuilder So people train like bodybuilders, but then their ultimate goal is not to be a bodybuilder. So the two kind of don't correlate. I mean, you're still going to get fitter if you're doing a bro split. It's not like, you're going to the gym doing all these reps and stuff. You're not going to get any benefit out of it. It's just you're not really using it to your advantage in terms of health and longevity. You're kind of just doing it to look good. You're doing it for the aesthetic. So if that's your goal, that's all fine. But that's kind of the difference between, I think, our full body splits and the bro split. With the full body split, we're hitting one body part kind of every time, or just once per workout. And then we're also throwing in accessories towards the end, which, help out with other things, in terms of healthy shoulders, healthy hips, healthy knees, and basically just strengthening those joints and stuff. So I guess the way I like to do my splits are, 3 to 4 times a week, someone's working out. You got to have time to rest. People don't really understand how much recovery you actually do need to be able to get a lot more benefit. There's people that can go to the gym, 6 days, 7 days a week, but then never actually rest and recover or let body parts rest and recover. And there ends up actually being no muscle growth or any improvement just because your body's just trying to fight to keep up. But the way I like to do it is like a workout, basic 6 exercises. I like having a lower pushing exercise always first, just because those are usually the hardest for most people. So that could be anything from a squat, a split squat, walking lunges, lateral lunges. So anything pushing from the bottom of the lower body. So any sort of squat variation. And I always like to pair that with an upper pull. So basically the opposite of the opposite. So you're doing a pulling motion opposite of the pushing motion, and then you're doing an upper body versus the lower body. So I like to do an upper pull. So like a basic workout, I like to have some sort of squat variation paired with a row of some sort or a lat pull down or pull-ups. That's usually how I like to start it off. There's usually an emphasis on upper push exercises. That's why I think I delay it later on, because people already have enough focus on that, especially guys. How many guys actually hit chest day versus leg day? Probably, they're going to skip leg day 3 weeks at a time. Chest day, they're probably never going to miss a chest day. But then following the lower push with the upper pull, we then have the opposite of that again. So you have an upper push, so a chest press of some sort, dumbbell incline press or anything, and then a lower pull. So anything with the hamstring exercise could be a hamstring curl, RDL, hamstring curl on a ball, just basic, or a hinging pattern. And then last two things I like to do, accessories. So usually with accessories, like to do something with shoulders, something like that, like a cable pull apart, and then mixing it with a little bit of core, maybe some sort of like plank, or just something along the lines of that. And people would think, oh, that's not a lot of abs or anything like that. If you're training the proper way, those first 4 exercises that we did all involve your core, and you're all getting stronger in that. So there's not that much emphasis on it. But the beauty of it is, like legs, you're only hitting 2 different exercises for legs, and then you're done. And it's like, so you're not as dreading it as much. So building up, you don't have over the week, like, oh my God, I've got leg day on Thursday. Because all you're thinking about is how bad it is. It's kind of like, oh, I've got to wake up early that day, where it's like you're setting yourself up for failure and setting yourself up for wanting to quit. So it's like, just knock out your first leg exercise, and then it's like you're done.
Right. And then the beauty about doing it separately too is a lot of people, when they do a leg day, they will fatigue their legs so much by the last exercise. Heck, even by like the third, because leg day from the bro split will be like a squat pattern, probably a hinge pattern, another accessory, or like a lunge, things like that. Basically, tons and tons of leg, like 7, 8, 9, 10 exercises for the legs on leg day. And by exercise 4, I'll be shocked if I can go to 100%. Exercise 3, exactly. I'll be shocked. But if I separate my legs and do 2 exercises, I think I can give near 100% every time.
Every single time,
just 2. And the thing with the full body movement is we have the same amount of volume that you would put in a regular leg day. We just separate it. So all the numbers add up to be the same at the end.
Exactly.
But for the way I do my stuff is I focus a lot is time efficiency too. I always like to think, how can I save the most time? Because you may not know this. I love to train. Guilty. Oh my God, training, the best thing ever. I hate to work out. Oh my goodness. If I'm at the gym after I get off of work, the last thing I want to do is go to another gym. Now, when I do go to another gym, or if I have time to squeeze it in, I want to make it quick. I want to make it fast, but I also want to make it super beneficial. So just like let's just said, an upper push, probably lower pull. I might just do 2 exercises. Sometimes I've literally only done 2 exercises in my day. Usually I try to put a little bit more on days I do have a lot more time, but some days I get busy, and that happens more often than none these past few weeks. So these past few weeks I've been putting around 2 exercises, like a kettlebell swing. I like to do something with power, something I can move heavy or heavy-ish but fast, and then something I can actually move like hypertrophy nice and slow to build muscle, and the other ones to build power. So like I'll go my kettlebell swing and then maybe a tricep dip. But as you see, those are 2 compound movements. So my core is being worked in between, because I think the best type of core exercises, or at least to me, is a bench, deadlift, or squat variation, some type of those things.
100%.
And so like that 2 exercises, I'll just do multiple rounds. So basically I put in a good amount of work in my body, but that's only when I need time efficiency. Most of the times I'll put in same thing, push, pull, and I'll try to get things that don't fatigue one another, so I can go back to back as well. So one of the worst parts about leg days or chest days or whatever the bro split may have is they fatigue their supersets.
Yep.
And they'll be like, oh, I'm going to do this and that. And I was like, well, I don't know if that has enough energy to go for it, because you just wasted that. But when I do a squat and I go to like some type of press, I probably did not fatigue my chest with my squats. I mean, I put in some work with my core, obviously, but I still have enough in the tank to go and give it another 100%. So I like to take, most of the time, I'm around 4 to 5 exercises, 3 to 4 times a week, but I put things that I can superset, so I can be in there quick, out, and then good sweat, good pump going in. And I mean, at times when I first started, I will admit, I was a bro split guy, I didn't know any better.
Everyone is.
I didn't know any better. I was a young DJ. I went inside and I was like, what is this piece of metal? And let me pick it up, move it up and down. And I was like, ooh, that piece of metal made me feel a little bit tired. Let me pick up a different piece of metal. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I think we're getting results, because I feel some type of fatigue. Yeah. And in my mind, I was like, oh, stimulus, pushing it through. But little did I know, not the like you did say, you will still get some benefit if you move something 1,000 times. Obviously, you're going to grow in some type of way, but it wasn't the most beneficial benefit stimulus I could receive. So I was wasting a lot of time. And for the general population, that works. And that's a good amount of our clients is they have to consider their time. It's valuable. So I have to make sure I put the best bang for the buck. And when it comes to that, time efficiency is my key thing. So I'll move weights. And when I do it, 4 or 5 exercises, 3 or 4 times, little rest, superset, bang, bang, bang. I get it through, but I make sure I get enough rest between my supersets. So if I'm doing chest and lower pull, if I do an accessory, it's nothing from what that movement or this movement provided. So maybe I'll do a mobility drill in between,
Yeah.
Be like, okay, so therefore, in a sense, I'm still getting a rest in my chest as I'm doing, you can't see, but I was doing some type of FRC right there. But I'm still getting some type of rest in my chest as I'm still getting a different benefit. Mm-hmm. So when I'm done with this, I can immediately go there because I still technically rest in my chest.
Yeah.
Point in case.
Okay. But it's also, that's another thing I think with like bro splits that a lot of people, like they're very, when you think about like bro splits, they're very simple in terms of just like you're doing like chest day, chest press, incline chest press, flies, and then like a tricep push down to like finish off. And like that's what you do every single time. That sounds extremely boring to me. Just doing that for forever. But one thing I don't think people really think about is like rest time with all of it. And so if like you're pairing a flat bench with an incline press, like the point of an exercise is to be able to improve at that one exercise that you're focusing on. So if you're going from a flat press to an incline press, you're already fatigued. There's kind of no point in to keep going with it unless you didn't fatigue yourself enough with the first exercise. So that like kind of brings up rest. So having that ample amount of time of rest in between each thing, allows your energy systems to recover a little bit so you can get something out of it. But also people, I don't think they understand the intensity aspect of working out as well.
Yes.
The amount of people that I see that go in there and rep out 10 reps of something and then wait 3 to 5 minutes before they go again. And like people don't sweat when they're working out. It's like, you got to increase the intensity in some sort of way. And that can come from multiple different factors: decreasing your rest time, increasing the weight, increasing the reps, increasing how much tempo you're having, basically lowering weight. If you're not seeing any, like, if something's not getting any harder, or if it isn't saying the same difficulty, that means you have to increase. So if it's getting too easy, you have to increase something or make something harder. That's the only way to keep improving. That's why I think a lot of plateaus happen. Like people are like, oh, I can bench 135 for 10 reps on the bench. And I've been doing that for, 3 months now. Mm-hmm. What's the definition of crazy? I think it's like doing
the same thing over and over and expecting the same result. Oh my God, we're philosophers.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
No, but that's 100% right. A lot of people don't realize, especially when us as clients, we were able to tell him immediately. I was like, all right, I'm going to give you heavier weights. He's like, why? These felt hard. I was like, yeah, but you should have seen the way the bar speed moved.
Yeah.
It was like, I said 8 to 12. You got 8 and you stop there. Go for more.
Yeah. If you're getting 4 sets of the like reps that are like assigned to you with the same weight, it's time to go up. I'd rather you fail, and get 7 reps on the last set with more weight than you did with, less weight, all 8 reps.
Now, one of those things important to fail is, most people don't understand what failure feels like. They only understand failure on the 1 rep max, which I was like, why are we doing that? We want failure on multiple attempts of a rep, not only 1. If I give you 1, okay, yeah, we failed. Did we grow? I don't think so. But if you were to get 6 and there's like 7, okay, I think here now the muscle fiber is breaking down when we have to get to a certain stimulus that most people don't understand, their bro splits, and then sometimes there's a thing as too much. Like once you break it down, it's kind of like, that's it. We did it. We did the thing,
Yep.
Let's get out of here.
You can only, it's not a sprint. It is a marathon when it comes to building muscle. And it's like, you've got to do a little bit at a time. It's not like the longer you're in the gym, the more you're going to get out of it. If you spend 3 hours in the gym, you're not going to get 3 hours more of growth than versus like 1 hour in the gym.
Because you'll see a lot of fitness influencers, especially bodybuilders. That's what a lot of the audience sees in their algorithm in social media, where like, oh, you only get a big chest and they're doing all these movements. I was like, okay, I pressed like 30 times, but that's it. I was like, I probably got it in the 3rd, 5th set where I got my stimulus. So I'm going to 12, 13, 14. I'm going to put a new movement in there,
Bodybuilders are also on steroids.
Yes, and they're doing that for competition. We're just average shows.
So they recover a lot quicker than you.
Yes. And
it's not natural.
It's not natural, but it's not I believe it's allowed in their sport too, or some of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, there's natural bodybuilding competitions, but then there's Not natural. Those are the big boys.
So if you ever see that, just be wary. Like, hey, that 8-hour arm day, is it really necessary? I think you'll get it in the first hour. And if you're not, then I just don't think you're going hard enough. So really understand the mentality of going hard enough.
Exactly.
That is the key point when it comes to if you are going to do these row splits. We always say full bodies are a little bit better. And one thing I also want to bring up with full body and the way we work out is we do a little bit that will translate to the outside world.
Mhm.
So we don't just like do, oh yeah, we're gonna do leg extensions and hamstring, which we will add them in for accessories, but we're also adding like Fletcher loads of Pollock and split squat. Great exercise, great benefits, very functional of an exercise, pushes that knee over the toe beyond. And I was like, that's an exercise you probably won't do, but you'll do like a leg press. I was like, that's great, but we need a little bit more. Although the bro split like usually does leg presses and leg extensions for the leg day. If you are going to do a bro split, let's try to put more functional workouts in there.
Exactly.
Like a Pollock and split squat, kettlebell swing, even the regular back squat would be fantastic.
Have you ever seen a bodybuilder walk?
Yeah,
You don't want to walk around like him. You got to move more.
exactly. Which your body, you know, for most people, when it comes to these workouts, when we age, what's coming's coming. You know,
It is.
it's not like we can stop it. We're just prolonging and trying to give ourselves the best chance of fighting it, but it is coming absolutely 110%.
Yeah.
Now, the great things and the bad benefits would be like those things. Walking in the future is going to look rough if you keep up with these bro splits and that same type of mentality.
Yep.
The lack of core strength a lot of the times with the bro split that you don't get into core is just a thing. It is one of the main things. Like this thing needs to be as functional as possible, and it'll benefit so many more things. Boredom. I get bored doing the same things. You know, let's mix it up. Let's sprinkle in some fun, because F is for friends that do stuff together, and U is for you and me lifting in better and smarter ways.
Exactly.
Okay. And then, like, what do you think are underrated things that are bad benefits for that people don't understand when it comes to bro splits as well?
People are pump chasers. They chase the pump. Just because you don't feel pumped doesn't mean you haven't worked out. That's kind of based off of the type of workout you do or how hydrated you are. If you had some, extra carbs before you worked out, there's a lot of factors that go into someone having a pump. But if you didn't have a pump, that doesn't mean you didn't work out. There's specific types of workouts that we'll go into probably a different podcast. In terms of, because Diego's mentioned like a stimulus. There's multiple different types of stimuli that you want to get basically in a workout. Getting just the pump and feeling like a muscle is full of blood is not the only thing that you're chasing. And that's what a lot of bro splits are kind of targeted towards, just based off of how much volume and stuff you're doing every single time. So usually when people do that and they're doing a bro split, they're like, I'm going to keep doing sets until I feel a pump. Or at the end of it, you're doing too much volume to a point where you're actually damaging and hurting yourself, and you're actually causing muscle atrophy.
And for those who don't know, muscle hypertrophy, growing muscle, atrophy, losing muscle.
Yep.
That. I just learned today that stimulus is not stimuluses. It's stimuli.
Stimuli.
Holy moly, dude. What is?
Heck yeah.
I don't know what I've been saying. Multiple stimulus? I'm a fool. Yes, but now, because that's a great point to bring up, we're also going to bring up the great points of a full body workout, because they're not just going to tell you, hey, full body workout, and I give you, like, hey, our best things, why we do them. One of the reasons I like full body workouts, one, they allow my body to rest a lot better than just doing a chest day. Because, again, I want to repeat it, tonnage is what we're really focusing when it comes to full body, meaning the same amount of volume I do throughout the week that you would do in the chest day. I'm just splitting it up. So it allows my body to recover a little bit more and a little bit better. Second is efficiency. I can pair things together. And now that I'm pairing things together, testosterone is all over the roof. It's now growing. Now these are tough things that I'm going. So if you thought you felt a pump, try splitting 2 workouts, compound movements of opposites of the muscle group. So maybe lower body pull, upper body push, upper body pull, lower body push, or even 2 pushes, upper and lower, will still get crazy. So one of the things is all those benefits, the quick, efficient benefits, and you really feel it like once you're going through it. Now, obviously, the amount of intensity you put in is on your own. You can't be like, well, no, I'm going to do it, but you don't amplify it by something challenging. Now, notice it's the word challenging, not impossible. Again, not one rep maxing these things. We're putting something within the 8 to 12 where I'm at 8 and I'm like, okay, this game real tough. I'm at 9, I was like, holy freaking moly. I'm at 10, I was like, oh my God, somebody help me. And I'm at 12, I was like, someone call 911. He's like, what? Not for you, for me. That's within the type of things, but I want to be able to at least get most of them, if not all of them, somewhere around there. You know, if I fail at 10, good, that's great. If I fail at 7, okay, good. If I fail at 2, I don't know. So really understand that as well. So that, and then being able to work on a body part, because one of the things that I also want to bring up when it comes to these bro splits, if you miss a day and you miss it and it goes to next week, 7 days of not using my legs. So if I do a real intense chest day, when do you think my chest will be ready to have some action? Not when the day after, okay, maybe not the day after. No, I was like, you're closer, but the third day for sure. I'm waiting 7 days to get to it because that's how my chest is. But if I do full body, my chest is getting work, if not every other day,
Exactly.
pretty close in the near. So that's something I also like about full body days is my body is always getting work and nothing's getting ignored for a while. So it's always seeing some action.
Yeah.
So those are my favorite benefits. What would be your favorite benefits?
I mean, just not having to dread certain days, I think. I'm kind of the opposite. I kind of enjoy legs more than I enjoy upper body. Yeah, whoa. Big hot take right there. So I'd rather hit leg day multiple times just because that's something I just prefer. But with every day, you know, I only have like one pressing movement and one pulling movement for upper body, and then I'm done with those. And then I just kind of do it again the next day. It's a lot better. It's a lot easier. There's nothing to dread. If you get sore, like the more you work out, the more you're going to adapt, the less you're going to get sore. And then there's also, again, other things that play into that. Well hydrated, eating enough protein per day. There's a lot of other things that you can do to combat basically DOMS, and delayed onset muscle soreness, basically. But that's, I think, my favorite thing about full body, being able to not dread anything. It's kind of, you get excited for each workout. Not excited. You're neutral.
You're neutral. You know what? You're craving it, you know? I mean, not me. Honestly, as you heard, I hate working out, but it is a little bit more tolerable when I don't have a just full leg day. If I have a full leg day, what am I? Better call off work tomorrow. How much PTO do I have? You know, I can't be coming in. I work out. I demonstrate workouts at full leg day. That's crazy. But our legs do get work about every other day, and you'll start noticing too how your body responds to it much better that most people don't understand. And once you do full bodies, it's just, I believe that's back in the day. That's how the body was meant to do, was full body.
It was.
But a few folks said, you know what? Let's just do one muscle at a time. Let's build the body in some crazy ways with a little bit of drugs and put them in there.
Yep.
And let's compete and make around, I don't know what the first place winner it makes, but let's make some money doing it. And then let's not walk in the future.
Pretty much.
That's basically how it happened.
Bro splits have their place. This can be like our closing thing.
Yes.
Just to not bash. They have their place.
Like
One,
farm.
if you're a bodybuilder, that has its place. Two would be if you have an injured person. So it's like, my guy has a broken leg, or he has two broken legs, because you can still work out one broken leg.
Yeah.
Two broken legs. Sure, we're gonna hit an upper body day. That's fine, but we're probably gonna still split it into upper upper pull and an upper push. So it's still gonna do both sides, but it's probably not gonna ever do chest and tries.
Chest and tries the other time.
Just the classic stuff.
So when it comes to also having their places, sometimes we do it we do a thing called arm farm, which is pure arms. We do it for fun, you know, to get those like little accessory, but we make sure we get our full body days in between. So maybe sometimes all you do is want the big arms and you want to get a little fun pump with a friend, you know?
Yeah.
So it has its place in there too, because I don't want to diminish all of it either. And if that's the only way you like to work out is bro splits, by all means, keep doing it. I don't want you to stop working out. It's better than nothing, but I prefer you do a full body day. But if I have one client who refuses to do anything but bro splits. Even when I tell him I don't want you to do bro splits, he's like, I won't do it. And I was like, in my mind, I can do two things. One, I can not work out with him and let him do his own bro splits where it won't, because I can still make a bro split beneficial. It's just not as beneficial as a full body. or I can let him just do it himself, and obviously he gets no real benefit just by moving weights up and down.
Yeah.
There's no real program into it. So I'm like, all right, if this is the only way you want to work out, sure, just be wary that you can make a bro split somewhat decent. Just make sure you know how you're doing it and how you're putting things in order as well. Because a lot of it will be, I saw this where someone did a bench and then they did push-ups immediately.
Oh, yeah.
That would probably not be a great ball split. You know, that'd be like, okay, well, instead just do that bench by itself, wait to your next circuit. Then you go to, who knows, an incline press. We're pressing twice under 2 different angles, and military press, but we're not supersetting any of those.
Yeah.
They're all just doing themselves. So you can somehow, some way get a good overall stimulus. You just have to make sure you're putting things in order correctly if that's the only way you're going to stay to.
Yeah.
But full body days are key.
Yeah.
And although if you put in the comments, TikToks, this guy says that's great. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Well, our opinion is full body at all times, you know. And if you ever wonder how much full body, what goes first, just think about hardest exercise, the easiest exercise. Boom.
Pretty much. You
Quick
have the
little idea.
most energy at the beginning of your workout, so do the hardest exercise first.
But folks, as far as that goes, that is our take. Full body over bro splits. And if anybody has anything to say about it, please leave a comment and ask us any questions, and we will get to it when we can. I'm Cafe. This is Leche. We're Cafe con Leche in the morning. We're dressed like this because this is how we feel.
Happy
Chill.
summer. Checking out.